Have you ever noticed that some women just don't fit the mold? They're not loud like the alpha. They're not agreeable like the beta. And yet, they quietly own every room they walk into. Not by force, not by charm, but by simply being themselves. These are Sigma females. Rare, complex, different. But what makes them so unique? Why don't they fit into the usual alpha-beta hierarchy? And more importantly, what is it about their psychology that sets them apart? Stick around, because in this video, we'll reveal the real psychological traits and behaviors that make Sigma females nothing like alpha or beta women, and why the world can't stop noticing them. By the end, you might just discover a little Sigma in yourself too. In most conversations about female personalities, you hear about alphas and betas. Alphas are the leaders, confident, dominant, outspoken, and often admired or envied. Betas are supportive, nurturing, cooperative, and prefer to follow rather than lead. These two archetypes have been around for decades, but psychology tells us they don't explain everyone. Enter the Sigma female. She exists outside this hierarchy, not above it, not below it, but completely independent of it. While alphas and betas define themselves through their roles in the social structure, the Sigma defines herself on her own terms. Let's break down how and why she's different. At first glance, you might confuse a Sigma female with an alpha. Both are confident, capable, and independent. But look closer. She doesn't seek dominance. While an alpha thrives on recognition and power, the Sigma doesn't care for status or control. She doesn't compete with others to prove herself. She's simply not playing the game. Psychologically, this comes from a strong internal locus of control, meaning she believes she's responsible for her own life, not external validation. She doesn't need the spotlight. Alphas often crave attention and enjoy being admired. Sigma females, however, are comfortable in the background. They don't need to be seen to feel powerful. Their confidence comes from within, not from others noticing them. She leads without leading. Alphas often assume leadership naturally, but Sigmas inspire people to follow them without even trying. This is often called quiet leadership in psychology, a trait linked to emotional intelligence and authenticity rather than authority. It's easy to assume that if she's not an alpha, she must be a beta. But again, the Sigma doesn't fit there either. She's not dependent. Betas often rely on others for direction and feel most comfortable when following. Sigmas, by contrast, are fiercely independent, not because they reject help, but because they trust themselves first. She doesn't avoid conflict. Betas often shy away from conflict to maintain harmony. Sigmas, however, don't create unnecessary conflict, but they won't avoid it if it means standing up for what they believe in. This reflects high assertiveness, a key component of self-respect. She prioritizes authenticity over belonging. Betas often adapt themselves to fit in with others. Sigmas would rather walk alone than compromise their authenticity. This can make them seem distant, but in reality, they value quality over quantity in their relationships. Now that we've seen what she isn't, let's explore what she is. Deep self-awareness. Sigma females know who they are and what they stand for. This self-awareness comes from introspection, which is linked to higher emotional intelligence. They reflect on their thoughts, feelings, and actions, which allows them to live intentionally. Emotional resilience. Life throws curveballs at everyone, but Sigmas handle them with grace. They don't let setbacks define them. Instead, they adapt, learn, and grow stronger. This resilience is often developed through self-reliance and reflection. High intrinsic motivation. Unlike those who chase external rewards like fame, money, or approval, Sigma females are motivated by their own personal goals. This makes them immune to societal pressures and trends. They define success for themselves. Selective socializing. Sigma females are not antisocial. They're selectively social. They value deep, meaningful connections and avoid shallow interactions. Psychology calls this high relational authenticity, preferring fewer but more fulfilling relationships. Adaptability. Because she's independent and emotionally intelligent, the Sigma can adapt to almost any situation without losing her sense of self. This makes her feel comfortable in solitude and equally capable in a group when needed. People often don't know how to handle a Sigma. She's hard to categorize. She doesn't seek approval, yet she commands respect. She's approachable, yet distant. Men may find her intimidating because she doesn't play the usual games of attraction. Other women may misread her independence as arrogance. But the truth is, her difference isn't about rejecting others, it's about choosing herself. So why does it matter that the Sigma female doesn't fit into the alpha-beta hierarchy? Because in a world that often pressures women to conform, her refusal to do so is revolutionary. Her independence shows that a woman can thrive outside societal expectations. Her authenticity shows that you don't need to fit into a box to be valuable. Her quiet confidence shows that strength doesn't always have to be loud. Before we wrap up, let's clear up some common myths. Myth: Sigma females are loners. Truth: they enjoy solitude, but they value deep connections when they find the right people. Myth: they're cold and unfeeling. Truth: they're deeply emotional, but they don't display it recklessly. Myth: they reject all social structures. Truth: they simply choose which ones align with their values and walk away from the rest. Sigma females are nothing like alpha or beta women because they don't operate on the same rules. They live by their own code. They don't need permission, they don't seek validation, and they don't settle. Instead, they move through life with quiet confidence, emotional depth, and unshakable authenticity. If you recognize even a little bit of this in yourself, embrace it. The world doesn't need more copies of the same thing. It needs more of what only you can offer. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about Sigma females, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who would love to understand the power of being different. Which Sigma trait do you resonate with most? We'd love to hear your story. Stay rare, stay strong, stay you.